Pete in Albany, New York, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Peter, good afternoon. Your turn. How are you today, pal? What do you have?
Thanks for taking my call. I was talking to you yesterday, and I got cut off. I hope to God that this Rizzy guy that you just had on is right, and you are wrong, because I agree with you 100%, 1,000%. Why would you not take Barkley and then one of the three quarterbacks at 4?
I don't understand.
I'm a Giant fan, so I am licking my chops hoping that Barkley drops to the Giants.
Well, I'm going to read you this, and then we're going to move on from it because I've been going crazy. Gil Brandt, you ready? The legendary talent evaluator. He's worked in the NFL for 63 years. Vice president of player personnel for the Cowboys for 3 decades. We all know who Gil Brandt is. He grades prospects on a 9-point system broken down into 5 characteristics: character, quickness, agility, strength and explosion, competitiveness, and mental alertness. This is in this week's issue of SI. Over his career, he has graded, you ready, Pete? 492 running backs. So Gil in his career, 492 backs. Barkley ranks higher than them all. Furthermore, quote, he has a 100% chance of being an all-pro. He is the best player in this draft. How the hell do you not take him? I don't understand it. When you have the fourth pick.
And not only that, dog, like you said, these quarterbacks they're a crapshoot. The USC quarterbacks, you said they've all been terrible in the pros. Why would you not take Barkley if you're Cleveland and then take one of the 3 quarterbacks at 4? I hope to God that you're wrong and this Rizzy guy is right, because I am salivating. I'm like you said, I am on pins and needles, praying every day until Thursday that Cleveland does take a quarterback so Barkley can fall to the Giants.
I think the Giants are going to take him too. I don't buy the idea they're going to trade down with that second pick. I think if Barkley's sitting there, the Giants would not be able to resist. Here's Max in Memphis, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Max, good afternoon. How are you today?
Is anybody alive out there, Doggy?
Yes, Maxwell. How are you? What's going on now? What do you have for me?
Doggy, I just want to tell you I am Team Dog. You know what my thought on Mike is?
What's that?
He doesn't like going to the Manhasset Bagel Shop, and no one there is slapping him on the back and saying, "Oh, Mike, great opening yesterday." I think it's that simple with the guy. He needs that little bit of an ego feeding, and I'll never forgive him. I mean, if you laid out the red carpet to bring him back in the fold, and he passed on you, Doggy, I got one question. Do you think it was the Mad Dog Radio name, and would you have changed the name of the station?
No, I wouldn't know. Mike would have done his own thing. I think it was really a question of economics with Mike and Sirius. I think that's all it came down to. I think Mike valued himself more than Sirius valued bringing him in. I think that's. I don't think there's anything more to it than that. I don't think working with me had anything to do with it. I don't think that he would have done one show a week. I don't think that was that big a deal. I think he would have enjoyed it. We know we would have had a fun time with it. I don't think that I would have had to make an adjustment because I would have had to sort of morph back into the Mad Dog role, but I could have done that easy, and I would have. But, I mean, for whatever the reason, Mike opted a different direction, which is fair. No problem whatsoever. That was back in the fall. I know we all thought that was going to occur. It did not. We haven't heard your take on this today. You know New York radio better than anybody.
I do.
Well, you did INS for 100 years.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that you were on top of the radio field, if nothing else. 10-10 wins with that. Again, in the 9:45 sportscast. Rangers at Winnipeg. Knicks play the Kings tonight, and the Yankees.
Time's up. See you later. You just started out praising me, and then you couldn't resist but to throw a dig. See, this is what got you in trouble to begin with.
I love that
pattern.
I love to do that 30-second update. And Steve Torrey, 10-10 wins. I love that. Now, what is your take here? Anything interesting?
Well, I just look at it this way. I think it's pretty simple. I think it's just two people that needed each other, two sides that needed each other desperately. That's kind of how I look at it.
Mike needed a place to land, and FAN
for whatever reason, Mike didn't find employment elsewhere, regardless of how it played out. whether it was negotiations that didn't meet his needs or maybe people didn't come knocking on his door. I don't know what the specifics. You probably know better than me.
I don't.
Whatever the situation
Sirius
was.
came knocking. Sirius came knocking.
Yeah, we had talks with Mike, but for whatever reason it didn't work out. So as a result of that, I think that, he looked at the New York landscape right now with two relevant baseball teams, with the football teams being in the second and third overall pick in the draft. And, maybe the Knicks were building towards something good eventually, that maybe he missed it more than he thought. And I think, obviously, FAN underestimated how they played things out. And, they looked at it was a situation where let's have a marriage again. Simple as that.
You feel bad for the afternoon guys who
I find it very surprising that they didn't get a longer run. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how you can, regardless of what we think about whether we think it's never going to reach a certain plateau or it's destined for bad results, whatever it is, you got to give somebody some amount of time. Now, you could tell me that the show was not going to be good in any capacity. You can make that statement, you can make that argument, whatever your feeling is.
Well, we're going to give them that
if
time
now. If that
now,
were me, I wouldn't be pleased that I would have virtually 3 months to get the show off the ground.
Now they're going to have 2 years between 1 and 3. Get a rating.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah,
nobody's going to dispute that.
And it's easier now because they got Mike to follow them up, so they should do pretty well in that time period. So now, I mean, the idea that 3.5 months is not enough time to judge them, well, now they get judged between 1 and 3 for 2 years. Is that fair? Is that a long enough time to judge them?
Well, look, as you said, you're not kicking them out the door. So from that perspective,
they are getting paid, Steve. I mean, it's not like this is not you throwing. Whatever his name is. What was his name? Who worked with Steve? Didn't work out.
Do we have to even bring up anything?
But, I mean, it's not like that. Or you throwing Dino out. This is a situation where we are in a spot right now where they are employed for the next couple of years. I mean, geez. I mean, it happens all the time. People get moved around.
Yeah, no, look, nobody's going to dispute that at all.
I don't understand what this happens all the time, that people get bounced, and they didn't get bounced. They get signed.
Right. Well, again,
it's a hit to the ego. Don't get me wrong. And if I was them, would I think about leaving? Yes.
You took the words right out of my mouth. If that was you, that was trying to establish yourself in a slot that you thought you were going to be in, and they told you after 3 months, Chris, hey. Good start, but we're going to knock you back down to 2 hours, and we're going to move you back.
Well, first of all,
you wouldn't be pleased.
Don't say good start.
What? No, but all right. Well, whatever. My point is,
that's a big difference, Stevie. I mean,
but I'm saying that facetiously. In other words, okay, great, thanks for your contributions. That you're going back, and now we're bringing back the savior, and you're being removed. You wouldn't like that.
After I just lost the ratings war to the other station in town, and after we've lost lots of revenue with the ratings, with the advertisers.
Look,
I mean, you have to put that in the equation.
Those are facts. There's absolutely no question. Those are facts. I'm just talking about from a human perspective. I would
be bothered.
You'd be bothered.
I would be bothered, but I'd have to also be a big boy and understand that when I join this spot, this is what happens.
Look,
here. And I'll tell you something else I wouldn't have done. It didn't work following Lombardi. It didn't work following Joe Gibbs. Maybe you sit there and become the second show in instead of the first show in.
Yeah, well, that's also part of the equation. I mean, they were in an incredibly difficult spot when you have to fill that position.
But they knew going in that was going to be a difficult spot, and they all had good jobs before that. So they jumped into it. Nobody said they had to. Mm-hmm. And they decided 3.5 months to go in a different direction. This is the big boy world. Is that the end of the world?
That's
plenty of managers get fired after a couple of months. I'm sure a lot of Philly fans want to Kapler out of there after 1 week.
Yeah, look what happened. Now they're flying.
They gave Pete McCannon a contract extension last year, and about a month later, they got him out of there.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
I mean, Girardi played in Game 7 of the World Series, or Game 7 of the ALCS. Was that fair what happened to Joe?
No,
out.
He was there 10 years.
But you get the idea. Mike Brown was in L.A. How long was he in L.A. before he got fired? The NBA head coach. Not long.
There are plenty of examples. I'm not going to argue.
I mean, this is not the first time this has occurred. Coaches get fired all the time. How about the fact that the Blackhawks fired Savard a few years ago, Dennis Savard, and brought Joe Quenneville back, and that was after 4 games. You remember that?
I had actually slipped my mind, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, that's correct. They were 1-4. Savard got out. Here comes Quenneville, and they won about 5,000 cups.
Okay, so it worked out.
That's the point. Ready to go?
You betcha.
What are you shaking your head for?
Not. I was looking at this with one of the monitors here. Very important stuff up in the studio. I'm shaking my head.
And you would still take a quarterback with the first pick of the draft. Did you hear what I said about what Gil Brandt said about Barkley?
What, he's a must select?
He's looked at 492 running backs in his career on 5 or 6 notable characteristics. He's by far the best one. And he said 100% he is the all-pro for a foreseeable future, and he's the best player in this draft. Gil Brandt.
Gil would know.
I'll give it to you again. 63 years, he's graded 492 running backs on character, quickness, agility, strength and explosion, competitiveness, and mental alertness. Barkley ranks higher than any back he has ever graded. That includes a fellow by the name of Jim Brown.
That's quite the praise. What did our buddy from Cleveland have to say about anything about this Baker Mayfield latest rumor?
He says that's Haslam. That's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
He thinks Donald's going there.
Yeah. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah. Stevie's got a sports bike. Good to have him with us here today on Mad